that and all I will teach you later. Okay.
Oh my God. Good evening, one and all. This is MC Anjali here from 3G International Event Academy. I welcome you all to the fifth episode of 3G Career Talks by 3G Me Live, an initiative of 3G IRPS headquartered at IIT Madras Research Park, which is an education platform creating a community of 1 million career coaches to address one-size-fits-all education and transform the country by helping students to decode their inborn potential. So are you all ready for today's session? Just comment on the chat box. So the 3G was launched in ISB Hyderabad and is designed as a result of 10 years of research by thousands of scholars. We endeavor to empower each students to align their passion with their profession by helping them choose the right career. So I'm getting so many comments, Monisha, Jamuna, and Patel. So thank you so much for commenting. Today we have such an eminent personality who's an industry expert and who is a career counselor who guides students from stream selection, college shortlisting, entrances to be prepared for, time management, and guide professionals at various levels of their life about the various options available for them to explore. She has completed her bachelor's in commerce from Bangalore University, 2 years of computer course from Aptech Arena Multimedia, diploma in fashion designing, international early childhood teachers training, and now pursuing child and adolescent psychology. She has certifications in career counseling, certificate course from University of California, Los Angeles, certified DMTN, and certified graphologist level 1. And she has also 10 years of teaching experience and 3 years of experience in freelance counseling. She has conducted spoken English classes for corporates and housewives, IELTS for students and working people, aspiring to go abroad, conducting one-on-one counseling sessions for Excel group of schools in association with Course Finder, and has associated with University for more than an year. It's my privilege inviting Ms. Sonia Achintani to speak on the topic stream selection. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. So could you please start your video?
Ma'am, I think it's off from your side. You need to start my video because it's not getting started from my side.
Ma'am, now you would have received it.
Done. Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So, ma'am, as our topic is stream selection, so everyone will be thinking that what is stream selection? Could you please brief about that?
Okay. First of all, a very warm good evening to all of you, and thank you 3G for providing us this platform. Like, bringing counselors to this platform is something really great. You're reaching the students directly, parents, teachers, or even the students for that matter. When you're reaching directly to the client, to the people who really need you, the audience, targeted audience, it gets our work more easier actually. So you all are doing a wonderful job. Really, hats off to you all for what you're doing. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah. And now coming to the question that you asked about the stream, when we are talking about career options, when we're talking about career aspirations, there are certain things that we need to keep in mind. And when we are thinking about those clusters, the subjects that we need to check on, so their stream selection plays a very important role for us. Stream selection is the first step, we can say, which a student takes towards the career prospects, to the career aspirations, because based on that only he decides his future plans. So taking a right stream and a proper stream selection is very important for any child.
So, what are the various streams available?
Well, when a child comes in 9th and 10th, he needs to think about the stream selection for 11th and 12th. Okay, so the streams that are available for them are science, arts, and commerce. The science is divided into two parts. It is PCB and PCM. Now, PCB is for non-medical students. Okay, PCB is for medical students and PCM is for non-medical students. Okay. So it is divided into two parts. They take it up in that way. And students who wish to do something with business or want to take up entrepreneurship and all, then they'd go in for commerce. Now, the third stream, that is arts or humanities, it is known. So these are the basic streams that are available for students in 11th and 12th.
So how can one focus on picking up the right stream? So like they will be confused after 10th class. Parents will be telling something and teachers will be telling that, okay, this is the right stream for you. Yeah. So how can one choose?
Usually what happens is students get confused because they have lots and lots of things during their small classes. Now, when a child is in sixth, seventh, eighth, there are many things that he gets carried away with. He sees a very nice, glamorous movie. He sees an actor. He thinks, okay, acting is a profession that I would like to do. He sees a doctor, that white coat with a stethoscope. He feels, wow, this is a nice profession. Children get carried away with certain things. So it's like, they are very tender at that age to decide what they have to do. But yes, we as elders, being parents, being teachers, being educators, being counselors, now see as national education policy is changing, we have to have counselors in schools also. It's getting a must. It's getting a mandatory thing for schools to have counselors. So, it is our duty to see what the child is good at. What is his aptitude? What is his interest? What are his strengths? What is his likes? Each student is unique. Each student has his own strengths. There are certain things that leads a fire inside a student, like, a passion. Okay, I'm good with this. Without anybody telling, he starts working on that particular platform. So this is what we need to identify. So this will help them to take up their stream selection in 11th and 12th. Now, when they are deciding about the stream, they have to be focused by the 8th standard. This is what I feel as a counselor. If you're coming to 10th and then thinking about which stream you have to take, that is a little dicey because you have to rush through your decision. But if you are in an 8th standard, if you're an 8th standard student and you start focusing on what is your strength, what are your subjects, what you like, what you want to aspire to be in future, it gets very easy for you to do it. Because you have a focused mind. So you concentrate on that particular cluster of subjects in 9th and 10th so that, 11th stream gets easier for you to select on.
Ma'am, so like while talking about stream selection after 10th, so we see a huge shift, be it science stream. So like no, the subjects will be much more hard. And if we are talking about commerce or arts, like the children will be won't be having any idea what is that subject. They will be looking into the name of that particular stream and they will be shifting or jumping into that particular stream. So could you please tell about how to select a stream and how important it is for a child to select stream for their future?
See, first of all, the child should know what are the subjects available for him, okay, in each stream. Now, when we are talking about science, and if the child is planning to take up PCM, that is physics, chemistry, maths. So physics, chemistry, maths, as you know, are the three core subjects that he's going to have. Apart from it, the students get subjects like economics, physical education. These are elective subjects for them. English is a compulsory subject. Again, language has to be there. So PCM with English are 4 subjects that the child takes. Apart from it, he can choose from computer science, information technology. Even these days, they are even providing you economics, okay, with science stream. So that is something really nice, very interesting, a very different combination that some of the schools are providing these days.
Okay.
So you have economics also, and then you have physical education as one of the subject. Some of the schools even give you psychology as a subject. So these are certain elective subjects that you get along with PCM. Now, when we talk about PCB, that is physics, chemistry, and bio, what the medical students take. Now, in that, what happens is you have psychology as a subject. Apart from physics, chemistry, bio, you have psychology, you have English. Then you get home science at times because there are students who even are very interested with agricultural sciences. Some students like to get into food technology with chemistry as their majors. So home science helps them a lot if they are into it because they learn a little bit of cooking, little bit of kitchen, and everything is involved for them. It's really nice if the student is taking up, and some of them even go into the hotel industry, so home science is a very good subject for them at that time. So elective subjects are there to combine with your core subjects. So this is how the cluster of subjects is chosen. Now, when we are talking about humanities or arts, now we have various trends of subjects over there. we can start with all the SST subjects that we have: history, geography, political science, economics, sociology, philosophy, psychology. Then we have English, we have foreign languages, we have Sanskrit, we have Hindi, all the languages that are possible over there. So along with this, you have elective subjects like physical education. Then you even have media studies for some of the students. So these are various subjects that can be involved with humanities. Okay. Now, when we're talking about commerce, commerce has business studies, it has accountancy, it has maths, it has entrepreneurship, it has economics. So these are the subjects that are there with commerce. Now, these are the clusters of subjects. Now, if the child knows what type of subjects he is going to opt for, or what are the subjects available for him in 11th and 12th, based on the interest that he has. Now, if the child is very good with science and he has an aspiration of being an engineer, then he will focus on PCM, that is physics, maths, chemistry, science stream, because usually the non-medical or the engineering students opt for that. Then that would be with English and computer science, because that's the best combination that a child can get. Okay. So you can opt for that way for engineering. This is just an example I'm giving you of combinations. Now, if the child is planning for a commerce stream, he wants to do something in trading, he wants to do something with import export, or he wants to do something with business, then yes, commerce stream is the best, because it gives him the overall structure. It prepares him with accountancy, it prepares him with administrative part, it gives him entrepreneurship, it teaches him economics. There is corporate communication as a subject, you have English as a language. So you get a compiled cluster over there for it. So that is something very nice. And children who plan to take up subjects like journalism, who want to become politicians, who wants to become a leader, or you have UPSC preparations that you need to do, then I think for those kind of students, fine arts, music, you have vocational courses also with bachelor degrees these days. So if you want to plan out with such kind of bachelor's degree, then humanities or arts is the best stream that you can offer. Because it gives you an overall grooming, your IQ level, your general knowledge, your current affairs really is very, very strong with the subjects that are provided with humanities.
Okay, ma'am. So you gave a brief intro about all the streams out there. So there are a handful of students who have potential to do well in all the subjects. So they score well in all the subjects. So then we can conclude that their score in 10th, the score in 10th can be decide a stream for them in the future.
No, dear. See, a child who is very good with different activities, a child who's good with academics also, a child who's good with sports also, a child who's good with cultural activities, co-curricular activities, takes active part in different competitions held at school level, district level, or national level, whatever it could be. The results of his 10th cannot decide what stream he has to take. His interest will decide the stream for him. See, a child might be good. He must be doing well with everything. A child like this is called a God-gifted child. He has a potential, he or she have the potential to grasp up things very nicely. They can do things, but then that interest, that zeal should be there to do something. Now, if a child is scoring full 10 CGPA in 10th, doesn't mean that he needs to opt for a science stream, he needs to become an engineer or a doctor, or that doesn't decide that he needs to become a CA or a lawyer. No, could be that child is interested in painting, could be that child is interested in journalism, he could take up journalism, he could take up humanities as a stream. That interest will decide what subject he has to take. Why he has to take is a question that the child has to ask himself. If I'm opting for this, if this is my aspiration, why should I do this? Why am I doing this? Because that will make him realize, or see his inner potential. He will answer those questions to himself to identify his strengths. So a result will not decide. It is his potential that will decide, his interest that will decide.
So as you stated earlier, we have to decide our stream right from the 8th standard. So what all parameters will be considered at that point of time?
See, first of all, the student needs to see the subjects that he's really very good at, his interest levels, the interest that he has. Now, see, a student might be very good with creative writing. A student might be very good with writing poems, content given to him, on spot topics given to him, like, to speak on. So, those are his strengths. So, we need to see if that the student has an aspiration to, like, pursue with these strengths only for his future prospects also. Certain things, like, students like to explore. Now, a student who is very good with mathematical calculations and he likes, investigative things, he is very good with physics calculations also, he is good with chemistry equations also. So that is his strength, because that is inborn, it's coming out. We are not asking him to do, but he has a passion to do it. Like, even when you're not asking him to do it, there's a zeal, like he gives in inputs. He studies from various things. He comes out with different calculations. Now, for example, there was a student I had some years back for maths. Now that student was such, he used to make it very easy for him to learn calculations. It used to be a very weird way of his learning, but that was his way of doing it, because he was finding out ways to do it because maths was interesting for him. And that was not only with him, he used to teach it to others also then. So this is how it is when when you're exploring things in a subject and you're coming out with different innovations in it, that means you love to do that subject on your own. So that interest, that aptitude, that potential to a subject, an inclination, that can decide your aspiration also. That gives us a hint that this is the aspiration that the child has. This is his potential. We can work on this as his strengths. So then we can talk to the child based on that. If the child wants it, we can improvise those things, and further he can take that as his career prospect also. He can decide a stream based on that. So this is all, it is a little work from the teachers, a little work from parents, and the child himself who needs to identify his strengths.
Okay, ma'am. So, like, if a student is confused between two choices, then what he or she should do in such scenario?
Yes, at times it does happen with children. They have two choices in mind. Sometimes it is like, a choice of a parent and the choice of a student. It could be a choice of a best friend and the choice of a parent. So the student doesn't know. Or sometimes it is his own choice that he has two different things in mind and he's not able to decide what he needs to choose from. The best thing over there is he needs to talk it out to a counselor. He can talk to his parents, get to a counselor, reach out to a counselor where he can sit and discuss his strengths, his weaknesses, his likes, his interests, how he's been performing in last 2 to 3 years, and how he developed interest for the two particular choices he has. Because sometimes what happens when we are sitting and thinking on our own, we're not able to identify certain things what the other person can. Now see, a counselor is totally an outsider for the child, also for the parents also. So there are certain qualities that the counselor might be able to foresee while the interaction is going on during the sessions. And because the counselor is making her own notes also at that time, so it gives a better view or a better kind of choice for the child also to choose from. Because he's interacting and he's interacting with a person who can give him choices over there, a person who can guide him over there, who can see the aspiration or the dream that he wants to along with him. And counselor is somebody who can tell you, see, these are the hurdles that you might have to face. These are the certain things that you will have to improvise if you want to take up this. And secondly, the best thing again is you can even go in for a psychometric test at the same time. Like, that will help you to decide which is more stronger among the two subject choice that you have. For example, if a child who wants to be, he's taken up now, some of the schools have this combination of physics, chemistry, maths, and bio. They give all the 4 subjects with English to the students because they feel the option should be open till the 12th, that what the child wants to do, whether he wants to go in for engineering entrance or he wants to go in for the medical field. So the option keeps open for them. Now, such children are in a dilemma because they don't know what they can do, because they might be good in all the 4, but all the 4 cannot be picked up, right? So then, psychometric test is the best thing over there, because psychometric test will tell them what cluster they are more better with, the aptitude, whether it is towards engineering or whether it is towards medical. So these kind of things do help them.
Okay, rightly said, ma'am. So like you said about selecting the majors. So like, what about the electives? How important is like for the students to select electives appropriately, and what role that does to help them in their future for their career selection?
Okay. Now see, electives, what you choose. Now electives need to be kept as a second option. For example, if a student who is picking up PCM, okay, an engineering student. Now, if an engineering student is picking up English with physical education, so his elective will be physical education. Now, if he is not or like, I always tell my students, PCM students, to take up English with computers. That's the best option. I tell them as an elective option. Why? Because they have option open for computer science engineering also. They are anyway doing PCM. They have engineering field open for them. So BTech with computer science engineering is a very good option they can opt for. And in case if they're not able to clear out with their engineering entrances, the JEE entrance or whatever entrances they're preparing for, then you can even opt for computer science, BSc with computer science, bachelor's, where you don't need your entrance test marks, the grades of that. You can go in for a normal college interview or the college entrance what they are taking. Based on that, some of the colleges even have merit basis for it, and some of them have an entrance test on their own level, college level. So then BSc computer science is an option that is open for them. So, and then BSc with sports education is also there. Like, if you want to get into becoming a sports teacher, sports management is there. So these are, physical education, computer science. With PCM, I usually prefer students taking up these. So, it gives them a better opportunity. Now, when we talk about PCB, I tell students if psychology is available, go ahead and take psychology as your elective subject. Why? Because, PCB is a medical field. Reasons. Is not yours. And don't get into a cream college or college that you dreamt of for with the NEET score that you have. BSc psychology option open for you. You can get into so there are variations you have. So, when you're taking up an elective subject, you should see whether it can help you out. Like, it could be a backfill for you. In case if the mainstream is not working for you, the backup subject that you've taken as an elective should come over. So this is how it should be.
I'm sorry to
Your
interrupt.
combination of subjects. Yeah.
Ma'am, your voice was breaking, so could you please come back?
See, I was saying the subject combination that you have to take, should be always such that in case if your major subs don't hit for you.
I think we lost the speaker. So meanwhile, participants, if you have any questions, please drop that in the chat box. So we will definitely ask that to the speaker. So if you have any like doubt regarding the stream selection, and if you want any suggestions or ideas or tips about the stream selection, please do comment in the chat box, and we will definitely be asking one or two questions from that to the speaker. Thank you all. So please comment in the chat box. Like so far, how you felt about the section? Was it useful? Did you find anything new and informative? So please comment on the chat box. We have around 24 participants here. Hyman? Okay, after our completion of 12th, which area is most suitable for biology students? So participants, please do comment on the chat box. Like you can share your feedbacks, you can share your questions. And Monica, glad to know the new LLT subject options. So thank you so much, Monica. My English is one of the hurdle for small town students. Is the test available in Hindi or other languages? We will definitely ask the questions. Thank you, Dama and Latish for asking the questions. Okay, ma'am is back.
Language. Is that what you want to know?
Ma'am, could you please come back? Like your voice was breaking.
I want to know the choice that they have asked for language. Is it the psychometric test? Like, other than English, is a psychometric test done in other languages also? Is that the question that somebody is asking?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
One of the participants. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes. There are a few of the organizations who are working out for a software with him also, and I think very soon will be there. And if anybody needs upon it, I can check upon and let you know. But the English that we use during the psychometric test is very easy. You don't find it difficult, because even if see, it is not that it's a small town or a big basic English, all of us know, and it is very easy to cope with. There is nothing. It is not a rocket science doing a psychometric test. It is an MCQ method of test.
Again, ma'am, is the connection.
Ma'am, gone again.
Yeah, sorry for that. My apologies. So like usually when we are conducting this sessions in online platform, we have many advantages, but one of the disadvantages is that every time the network won't be supporting us. So please bear with us, and our speaker will join back soon. So meanwhile, please share your feedbacks. I like Govind, Dama, and everyone who are asking the questions and who are sharing the feedbacks. Thank you so much. This participation is what bringing us is motivating us to bring more sessions, innovative sessions for us. Okay, ma'am is back.
So you
Ma'am, I think there is a low bandwidth issue there. So we can try turning off the video for some time. Thank you so much, Latish. Latish is telling that he is very excited to get this session to learn today. Thank you so much, Latish. Thank you for sharing your feedback.
Yeah, put my video off for some time.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes. Anjali, if you can provide me the contact of the participant who had asked for that different language for psychometric, that would be nice. I can get back,
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
For languages.
Yeah, please comment your contact number. You can just choose my name and give your contact number. I will just pass out that contact number to ma'am. So ma'am, we have many questions here, and that brings out the curiosity in the participants. So one participant is asking, after completion of 12th, which area is most suitable for biology students?
See, when you're talking about biology stream, science stream with PCB, that is physics, chemistry, biology, first thing that usually the children prefer is taking up the NEET exam to get into the MBBS colleges for medical. Okay, if in case NEET score is not good, then you have lots and lots of opportunities open. You have BSc with psychology, then you have BSc with agricultural science, you have BSc with food technology, BSc with nutrition and
Thank you, Monica. So Monica is telling that she is very glad to know that new LT subject options. Thank you so much. And participants, we are sorry. We apologize for the inconvenience. Usually when we conduct,
I'm really sorry because I don't know why, but by the time it comes to evening, no, the bandwidth goes little less because throughout the day we've been using it, so it gets a little weaker at the evening hours
no
usually.
problem, ma'am, it happens. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, now you are audible, audible well and good. So no problem. You can
yeah.
continue.
So yes, you have you have BSc with pharmaceuticals, you have B Pharma. So these are various options. You have paramedicals. These are certain options that are open for you. Biotechnology is there. You can opt for many things. You can even opt for BSc with zoology, BSc with botany.
Okay.
So these are the fields open for bachelors after doing your science with biology.
Okay, ma'am. So like we have another question. What should be the criteria of stream selection based on new education policy? Very important question.
See, when we are talking about the new education policy, the education policy is coming out with variations for us. And that is where we are coming out with, different combination of subjects for students. We are giving them, the subject that we included, I think, not this year. It will take some time, a year or so more for the new innovations to come up. But yes, there'll be some vocational courses, some skill courses that will be added for the students, so that you make a combination of those courses, the subjects, and you can think about your future streamline.
Okay, ma'am. So like while telling about this combination of the subjects, like different schools and will be offering a different combination. So how important
Yes.
is that? Selecting the right school for the right combination. So could you please brief about that?
See, what happens is there are certain schools which give you a limited number of subjects. There are certain schools which give you so many subjects as choice that it gets very difficult to make choice. So
Right.
it depends on the subjects that are available in your town or in your city or your state, like, the approved subjects from your schools. If not, you can always approach the school. And I think we as counselors are all trying to do this, to bring this into the notification that all the schools should have a uniform level of subjects, so that every child gets a chance to pick up a combination of his choice. There should be no child who should be deprived of any kind of a thing. So we are working out towards it. I hope it happens soon and children get all the subjects as a combination.
That's true. So so ma'am, like when will be this new education policy come into effect? So when can we
It
expect?
will take some time because it is going to take time. And what I feel is that they are going to do it by portion. If they're starting with smaller classes, they will first do it with the primary segments. Then they will do it with the middle school segment. So by the time they come up to a level of 9th, 10th students, it will still take time, But yes, we are trying our level best so that, this to the notification of the government that the CBSE schools or even state boards or whatever board a child is in, they should have maximum number of subjects as a choice for them, because that is very important.
Like everywhere I have heard about the importance of maths. Like many counselors, they stress that okay, choosing a maths will help you in the future for different career options. How important
Yes.
is that statement, or how true is that statement?
See, I'll tell you one thing. Maths should be taken up by students who really need to, use it in their future aspiration. Now, if there's an engineer, there's an architect, I can understand maths is a compulsory subject for him. A person who is doing CA, accountant, finance, you're an economics student, you're doing honors with economics. Yes, you need maths because that helps you. But if a student who wants to get into journalism, who wants to become a lawyer, who wants to do media studies, or who wants to get into theater, who wants to do music, what is he going to do with mathematic calculations? It is not a subject that he would like to study. Instead, what I dream of giving students is from 9th standard. subjects that they would aspire to take as their future career prospects. For example, if a student who wants to take theater, who wants to do something with acting, he should be given subjects like, okay, for example, a cluster of subjects I'll give you. A child is very strong with SST English in school level. So he can, take up in 9th standard, his subject cluster should be SST English, computers. You can give him a variation of it. See, with that, he has options open for him. He can either choose a proper BA degree, he can choose a vocational degree for himself. And if he is doing it, it's well and good. He has 2 different options open for him, because he is doing it from 9th standard. So by the time he is coming to 10, he knows which is more important to him, which would fetch him more better result, future prospects. He can choose that as his final stream for 11th and 12th, and he can carry it out further. So this is just an example, but it is going to take a lot of time when we have to give up this kind of combination to children. We really need to work very hard.
So another like this thing I have heard about the foreign languages. Now most of the schools offer French, German, Sanskrit, Hindi. So like what are things one should keep in mind while choosing a second language or foreign language as their relatives?
See, now if you are a science student, if you are planning to go somewhere abroad for studies, normally students do prefer going after 11, 12, they look for universities abroad for engineering. They look out for computer science, Canada. So, it depends on the country that you're choosing. You should choose the subject also, language also. Because learning that language will be helpful for you. It will build your profile also. While you're applying for your visa, it helps you. It's add-on benefit for you in your marks card. So, it depends. If you are here only, you are not going anywhere, then you can opt, and if you don't need it, it's not needed, take up in a different subject which is really needed as an elective subject. Now, for example, if you're going into a journalism kind of a field, or you're going into a field where, you need to travel, like international politics scenario, international relations taking up, then yes, you need to know Spanish, Germany. There are languages that you have to learn. So French. So you can pick up those kind of languages, and languages are best if you want to really go into linguistic skills. Then Bachelor's of Arts is the best for you, BA, because that's the only way you can get into a degree for languages. So if you want to do something with languages, you have to take up humanities in 11th, 12th, and then continue with BA. So that will give you a degree in the languages.
So what about mother tongue, like choosing the mother tongue as a second language? Now I think in new education policy, the government has made it like the portions and the syllabus will be covered according to the state's language. So how important this?
Yes. But then we need to see if that is going to be followed with the CBSE board, or it will only be restricted to the state boards. Okay. We need to check upon that. And what I believe as a counselor is, see, when talking about a mother tongue, you are well versed with it because you speak at home. It is a language that is given to you in tradition by the family. You are inheriting it. So you will learn that. What I prefer is when you are learning, now when doing something your mother tongue, then you are constrained to that one particular portion of area only. Because you need to come out of that. Now, when you're learning it in a common language, the eyes open for you. For you. But if you're constraining yourself only to your mother tongue, then it gets very difficult for you to at times express yourself, because you're so used to doing it in your mother tongue. So I normally tell students, don't make mother tongue as your strength. Yes, learn your mother tongue, talk in your mother tongue. I don't say no to it, but pick up a language which is commonly spoken, so that if you have to express yourself, you are into a workshop, you are in a seminar, you are for an interview, you are anywhere for that matter, you will be able to put out your ideas, because everybody is not able to understand you in the tongue. So
Right.
if you want to get into a bigger platform, you need to work towards it.
So like as we are seeing that everything is getting digitalized and automated nowadays. So like how important is for a student to like know about the basic computer or learn about the computer, whatever stream it is. What do you feel about that, ma'am?
It is very, very important to have basic knowledge about computers. It is very important for every student. I think not only student, for all of us to get tech savvy now, this 1 year of pandemic has taught us a lot. We all were not so used to these kind of virtual platforms and having meetings like this on Zoom or Google Meet, but we all did it. This has become a new normal now. So we are getting used to all these things. It took some months for the teachers to train themselves, to come out with online classes. They put in lots of hard work, and teachers really did lots and lots because they were so used to the traditional method of teaching, and they had never expected like something like this will pop up for them one day all of a sudden. So this has taught us that we need to prepare ourselves from the beginning, so that later when we have to prepare ourselves, it will not take the time that it took for us. So it's very important that basic knowledge in computers every student should.
Yeah. Okay. So that was a very valid point. And ma'am, like many students will be having this confusion. Even if they are starting, thinking about the eighth standard, they will be thinking, okay, this is commerce, but they don't know what is there in commerce, and like they have never experienced or they have never got that practical exposure. So like, what they can do to explore that subjects before even taking that stream.
See, these days, there are lots of things available. We have virtual internship programs, with tie-up with some organizations and other things. Through that, what the children feel is they get the feel of that corporate level. There is it's a internship program is 2 hours. I'm just giving you a small example. It is a 2-hour program. So the student starts with that journey. He has certain topics given over there. There is a description about it given. He gets a feel of the scenario, how he will be in that particular job profile if he's choosing that as his stream. For example, if you want to become a lawyer. So what type of things are required to become a lawyer? What are the things that you might face in a real scenario that you become a lawyer? What can he get my things? So all that is done, so it's a hardly 2 hours test of a thing for the student, and the student gets an idea about how it is going to be if this is the project he wants to do.
I'm sorry to
Okay,
interrupt.
so through that.
Hello? We lost ma'am. So Litish is telling that ma'am is explaining the content elaboratively, and thank you for the clarification after the completion of the. Thank you so much, Litish. So participants, if you have any questions, please drop that in the chat box. And thank you all for sharing your feedback, and thank you for asking the questions. Thank you for that being interactive throughout the session. So let's see whether ma'am will join back. Hi, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can I continue?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so that is how virtual internship is. The child gets a certification also. He gets a certificate for participating. He gets a idea of what it is. And these days, there are lots of things that are coming up, workshops also on like what are the clusters in commerce and students who are interested in what type of field of commerce. So all this is there. Now, for example, I'll just give you a small example. Sometime back, I had a counseling session with a student. He has taken core science as a subject, but his aspiration is to become a CA. Now that gets very tough. I don't say you cannot become a CA, you can. But then the basic that you've lost with accounts, finance.
Right.
So you've already given in that hard work of doing history for 2 years in 11th and 12th. All that hard work goes in vain because then you have to prepare with commerce subjects because you need to take up CA. You need to make the base for the foundation, first level of CA. So that is what, it plays a very important role. You need to really think about what cluster you're taking, keeping in mind what is the future prospect.
So how will counselor help in this stream selection? So ma'am, you have already said about that, but could you please explain in detail, like what is the role of a counselor in helping with the stream selection for a student?
See, a counselor is like a guide to you. There are certain things that you can speak out. When you're speaking to a counselor with an interactive session and you're giving an input, the first thing that the counselor has to do has to bring about a positive rapport with the student.
Right.
Only then, you need to come out with the best that the child can give you about him, his hobbies, his likes, his dislikes, his aspiration, his dream, why he made that dream, what he wants to do. Then what are his strong points? If a student who wants to become an architect, but he's very weak with physics, then we need to tell him, okay, if you're still very focused on it and you bent upon it, then we need to improve.
Yes, Niveta. So thank you for sharing your feedback. Ma'am, can you hear me?
So, talk to the teacher, see if the plus subject to make his physics strong. So, counselor helps them identify certain strengths and weaknesses in them. And if those can be improvised, the area of interest there in it, they have. And if in case they have a better strength or a better choice, which can become a bigger success for them. So we can foresee those things also for them through an interactive session.
Okay, ma'am. So we have many students who are watching this particular session. So what is your one message for all the students out there?
I would only like to tell all the students that whenever you have to make a choice, make the choice with a cool head. Don't have any stress, no pressure on yourself. Quietly think on it. What is good for you? What is your strength? What are your likes? How well you can, perform with those kinds of activities or cluster of subjects, and then only make a choice. And the earlier you start deciding and focusing on your subclusters, the better it would be for all of you. And never hesitate to go to a counselor or take up a psychometric test. It is only going to help you better, nothing else.
Many students, while hearing about a psychometric test, when they are hearing that name, they will be thinking that, okay, I'm going to undergo a test. So could you please tell, okay, what will be done in that particular test so that they will be
See, normally I tell you what, those are MCQs only. It is based on different subjects, based on IQ level, it's based on general knowledge, little on current affairs, little mathematics. It's a cluster of everything. Now, when we give a different cluster, there are questions on different topics covered, we get to know the of a child because a child is right. So whatever comes to the child, his mind is answered over there. That helps us in the field. So that is more beneficial for us. So if a child has to go for a psychometric test, it is nothing but like an MCQ test, not Q test. So don't take any stress while you're doing it. Go with a cool head and go and perform it. It is only going to help you to know what your strengths are, what your potential is.
So we have many parents who are watching this particular session. So what will be your one message for all the parents out there?
I would only say one thing, that sit with your children and identify their strengths instead of pressurizing them, or putting your dreams or seeing what you wanted to aspire. You like to see your child doing that. Instead, sit down with them, be friends with them, try to understand what they want to speak. Give them a chance to speak. Don't suppress their talk. So when they are able to express themselves, it is much better for you, and it will help you to help them decide what they want to do in the future.
Okay, so that was a very insightful session, ma'am. So there were so many tips, and everyone is thanking for the tips and for explaining elaboratively. Nipeta was thanking you, and Monisha ma'am is thanking you. Litish is thanking you. So everyone is thanking you for sharing all these tips.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. They all want to connect with me, ma'am. You can always share my email ID and contact number with them. I would be more than happy to get connected.
Yeah, ma'am. So while going through your profile, I saw that you are running something named as Dream Achievers. So you can just brief that as well, so participants can reach out to you.
Dream Achievers is an organization that I've started with, like my consultancy firm, and I'm planning to grow that with more, and I'm associated with my aglakadam.com and Univariety, from where the psychometric tests are done for the students. These are the two platforms, these are the two organizations which are my backbone. So
thank you so much. We are really honored with your presence, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking your time and researching about all these things and sharing all those insights with us in a short span of time. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being with you all and connecting with you.
Thank you, ma'am. Once again, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you all participants for being so interactive and for sharing all the feedbacks and for asking the questions. Thank you so much, everyone. And you can just share your feedbacks in the chat box. Again, how, what all you learned, what new things you came to know, and how was the session. So here we comes to the end of 5th episode of 3G Career Talks. Decode your inborn potential. Build India to serve the world. And you can always find our recording for this particular session and the previous session in our YouTube channel 3G Me Live and in our Facebook page 3G Me Live. So if you want to know about the more updates about the upcoming sessions and recordings of the previous sessions, you can always go and connect to us in our Facebook page 3G Me Live, and you can always visit our YouTube channel 3G Me Live. So please do share your feedbacks, and please share the more interesting topics you want for the upcoming sessions. So until we meet next time, this is MC Anjali signing off from 3G International Event Academy. Thank you all.